Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome everyone. Inshallah, everybody is doing well and happy with their life. Okay, let's start. Inshallah, bismillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري واشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, we will continue to study the story of Prophet Jesus, and we came now on the discussion, the discourse between God and Jesus himself. But of course, we will understand that this discussion is for us. I mean, there must be something there for us to get some lesson from or learn it and relate to ourselves. So now we are going to study the verse 116th verse of the section Ma'idah from the Quran, 5th section of the Quran. So let's start. God said, speaking to Jesus, Jesus, son of Mary, did you say to people, worship me and my mother as gods, as if we are gods, instead of God, the creator of the universe? Now, Jesus' answer is, of course, we will study what really this verse is referring to. So Jesus answered, may you be exalted in your limitless glory. It means really subhanic. It is not for me to say what I have no right to say. Had I said this, you would have known it. Yeah. ما يكون لي أن أقول ما ليس لي بحق إن كنت قلته فقد علمته. It's a very interesting verse. Now, of course, it is presented to us in a scenario that we will understand what really the Quran message is for me. First of all, of course, Jesus said, God said, we don't know. We all know that. We have not seen them. And okay, the conversation between Jesus and God, what is it to do with me? So we understand that it is something to do with us. That's why it is in the Quran, narrated to us. And that is why God is really speaking to me by referring this event to me right now. Of course, Jesus is a prophet. That's why it is mentioned. So he received the message from God. So in his speech, it means in his message, prophetic message, is there any sign that, hey, I have somehow divine qualities in my existence? Did I ever say this? Did I ever claim this? Where is the evidence? Of course, we don't know what Jesus said, what Jesus didn't say. As far as we are concerned, we have a text narrated to us as the revelation that Jesus received. Whether this text is reliable or not, we don't really care about it for this purpose of this discussion or for the purpose of the Quran. No one can or did really narrate that in Jesus's sayings. They said, look, worship me and my mother. Then there is no evidence for it. Some sort of interpretation saying that he was in God. This is the wordings of people who are writing, who wrote the text about the life of Jesus. And we say, that is, I'm sorry, sir, Mark, Luke, whoever you are, this is your personal idea, and you have to show me that Jesus told this, and as much as you have the material in your hand, narrate it to us. There is no such thing so far. This is what we understand. But at the same time, this is something local. This is something local. But at the same time, there is a universal message here too. The way Jesus is created, the way Mary is created, the way they exist in this world, in their own existence. So, in their own existence, is there any sign that they are gods? It means they are the creator of their own being. Is there any sign? Of course, we see that, look, Jesus' creation was something, as far as human experience is concerned, extraordinary. It means we have not accustomed with this kind of creation. We are accustomed with only a baby coming into existence as a result of a man and a woman get together, and after the pregnancy happens, a baby is born. But in his coming into existence as a baby, coming into this world as a baby, he didn't have father. But it doesn't mean that he is the one who existed by itself, who gave existence to itself. There is no such claim. There is no evidence. Even mother and father, it means a man and a woman came together, and then a baby is born. What is the difference? At the end, we understand that a baby is born not because really the father or the mother or together are the creators of the baby. Whether they are there or not, no one can ever claim that I have a baby and I made it. It is my production. No one can claim that. But if something happens extraordinary, it doesn't mean that the result is extraordinary to me. It doesn't mean that the result is the creator of itself. There is no sign. And also the father and mother, because we are accustomed with this order, father and mother are the creators. So the universal message tells me that the way the things are coming into existence, although we label them as, that is how always this thing happens in this way. It doesn't mean that it is the creator of this result. But for example, if somebody does the same thing every day, at every time, the same action, and the result is out there. For example, let's say every day the person opens the door at 7 o'clock, exactly, every day, 7 o'clock. So I'm accustomed that it is 7 o'clock. I look at it. The person, the residents of the house, opens the outside door. Now, can I say that door is opening by itself? And someday, I see one day, for example, the door did not open at 7 o'clock. I'm surprised. Yes, it takes me surprised. I understand that. It is understandable. Why it's understandable to get surprised? Because I feel that this is something I'm not accustomed to it. This is not in my experience so far. This event that at 7 o'clock, the door did not open, it doesn't mean that, door is not opening by itself or door is opening by itself. The person, the agent, the conscious being, the actor, preferred to open the door in the example at 7 o'clock in the morning every day. One day he decided not to open it. That's nothing more than this. You cannot say that the door is opening by itself, and it is surprising now the door didn't open at 7 o'clock today. So something extraordinary. Not at all. It's not extraordinary. According to your perception, it's extraordinary. According to the door's opening, it's not extraordinary. It is ordinary for the one, the agent, the resident of the house, whether he likes to open it or he wills not to open it. That's up to him. Door cannot open by itself. There is no evidence for it. I think this verse is telling this universal message to us. So, Jesus said, I have no right to say that the people should worship me. It means I am the source of existence of what they are benefiting from. I have no right to do that. You know all that is within me, whereas I don't know what is in you, my creator, in you, my Lord, my owner. I don't know, but you know what is in me. If I did this, you would have known it, but I don't know why you did this way or another way. What is my duty now as a human being, as Jesus and as me now? I have to look at myself. Did I make my nose, my ear, for example, or my head, my arm, my, I don't know, my lungs or my kidneys? No. And how about the cells of my organs, or feelings themselves? Do you think they did create themselves? No. There is no evidence. No one can show that. Yes, kidneys or human body organs are made up of cells. Yeah, correct. But it doesn't mean the cells are making it. Or, for example, I am in the car now on my way, the time was up, so I stopped by. I hope you don't hear any noise from the, I don't hear very disturbing noise. Inshallah, you don't either. Anyways, now here is in the car, and the car, I see the parts of the car, it is working perfectly, but the parts of the car has no quality to make themselves or to make the car, even altogether. They are made by a conscious being with these parts. That is what we got from this message. It is you alone who has all knowledge of unknown things. I don't know what in you, oh my creator, because you are somehow, your qualities are not comprehensible. That is what I know. Otherwise, it is, you are all the creator, you are or incomprehensible, whatever the word is, incomprehensible, maybe it sounds like. So that is why I don't comprehend your capacity. I don't comprehend your knowledge, because your knowledge must be absolute, infinite, because the work you presented to me in front of my eyes that I'm experiencing here demonstrates that your knowledge has no limit. I cannot comprehend the unlimited, infinite thing. But I know that your knowledge must be absolute. Your knowledge must be infinite. Okay, thank you. I am done with this verse. Do you have any concerns? Any questions? So, all right, any comments? All right, I will go to the next verse that we are going to study, inshallah. Now, we are here from the section Saf and verse 14, 61, 61st section of the Quran, verse number 14. So, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu ansar Allah. Oh, again, another interesting verse. All believers, stand up for God as Jesus, son of Mary. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kunu ansar Allah. You know, ansar, stand up for God is not the literal translation, good translation. I like that, whoever did it. They are not my translations. I am just copy-pasting. Looking at the translations, there are many English translations of the Quran, alhamdulillah, available for everyone who are interested in it. So I took one of them. This is okay, because every translation is good, but at the same time misses some point, because by definition, translation cannot comprehend the full meaning of the real text, such as the Quran. But it is, of course, it is beyond human capacity. So, Ansar Allah, now, those people who help Allah and to help God. So, all believers help God. كون أنصار الله كما قال عيسى بن مريم للحواريين. So, as Jesus, the son of Mary, said the disciples, asked the disciples, say, I mean, it's in the question form. That's why the translation says, ask the disciples. What does it mean now? Let's discuss this part, the first part of the verse first. Now, helping God or standing up for God. What does it mean? As if God needs my help? Of course not. I mean, God is the absolute one. I am his production. So how can I help my creator, my owner? So he is my God. So Jesus, the son of Mary, asked his disciples, who will stand up with me for God? قال عيسى بن مريم للحواريين من أنصاري إلى الله. I am struggling to God. But the literal meaning is ila Allah, to God. I'm struggling for God. Yeah, that's a good translation. Ila Allah. I mean, to God, for God. Literal meaning. But for me, what does it mean now? To help God. In fact, first of all, starting from ourselves, you and me, we have to help ourselves to understand God rather than helping God. It means, I would say, get believe in God in your own mind, in your own feelings, settle down firmly. That is what you need to do. Settling down firmly. And also the idea of God, reality of God, needs to be spread to people because they may not know, mostly they don't. They are not aware of who God is. While I am, if you like, upholding the belief in God and trying to delivering belief in God, I am helping God to the idea, belief in God, idea of God, or understanding of God, spread among the people. That is what I can do. Otherwise, really, I cannot help it is so ridiculous. How can I claim that I am helping God? I am helping myself, because even while I am conveying the message to others, delivering the message to others, teaching the reality of belief in God and who God is, helping people to understand the concept of God, I am confirming, consolidating my understanding of God. My understanding of God. So let me see. I wonder something. Okay. Technically, I thought there may be a problem. So, first of all, this verse is addressing believers. We have to pay attention. I mean, you cannot expect the non-believers to help God. It means the concept of God to be spread among the people. That is first of all, this man has to know who God is first. That's why the Quran is addressing to believers. So we have to really struggle to spread the idea of God or concept of God, teach who God is, not only the creator of the universe. Of course, we keep repeating in this kind of, in our discussions, that now the creator of the universe. Of course, we have to start from there. If we don't start from there, then people cannot really have the concept of God, first of all, and then go into the detail. All the creation, all the things exist in the universe with their beautiful, very important, miraculous qualities in themselves. They are witnessing, announcing the qualities of their maker. We have to announce them, of these qualities, or describe God with these qualities. We have to know what we are going to really, how we are going to describe the concept of God. So the disciples replied the prophet Jesus. They said, then a group of we will stand up for God. No. قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله. Yeah. We will stand up. It means we will help God. It means we will help your cause to deliver the idea of God, concept of God to the people, introduce God to the people. Then a group from the children of Israel believed, while another disbelieved. It means a group believed and another group didn't believe. They denied. So that is how we are always experiencing in this world. We then supported the believers against their enemies, so they prevailed. So that is important again. فأيدنا الذين آمنوا على عدوهم فأصبحوا ظاهرين. We really supported, gave support, أيدنا, gave hand to them. It means supported them. على عدوهم, onlar against their enemies, those deniers, and فأصبحوا ظاهرين, so that as a result they became ظاهر means really to be on the better position, prevailed. This is translated. They prevailed now, became successful, if you like. You can say ظاهر, not the literal meaning success, but they became on the upper position, better position. It means really winning position, if you like. Okay, I say I'm trying to spread the message of God and trying to get more and more evidence and deliver it to people because as a result of my effort. But I don't see any support from my creator, so that I am not the winner. But look at the world now. We have to be realistic. Believers are not on the higher position, prevalent position. We have to admit that that is reality. We know that. What God said, we supported them. Oh, I see, especially nowadays, really not many people are interested in who God is, searching for it. There are some, definitely, but not many. Proportionately, maybe out of 100,000. We have to be realistic. There is no exaggeration. But there are many people keep converting or there are many people are converting into Islam. Yes, correct, but proportionately to the population of the world, they are very, very few. We must admit it. So believers are not really on the upper position, successful position. What does it mean? How God supports it? The Quran says, and it doesn't say we may support you. The Quran says we supported them. وأيدنا فأيدنا الذين آمنوا على عدوهم. We supported them, supported the believers against their enemies. It means disbelievers. The previous section of the verse also said some of them believed, some of them disbelieved. Okay, where is the support? Let's think about it. God, I see that not really very much support in the world now, but the Quran says, yes, now too, not only in the past, no, now too. God is supporting me. Yes, of course, if we think not in a material way, not in a numerical way, whoever upholds the idea of God, he has infinite number of evidence to support his idea. God is supporting us in the way he creates the universe and everything in it. There is nothing in the world that does not declare my creator is infinite one, the creator of the whole universe. Every day, every moment, the creation is changing. Everything is given a new shape, new qualities, new forms. Everything is new every moment. And we cannot explain this by basing our argument, or somebody is basing his or her argument on an evidence saying that belief in God is false. Whole universe is the support for me, and the whole universe is the production or the collection of evidence presented to me. God is always with me, and you, of course, for with the believers, giving support. There is no exception at all. I mean, in one atom does not say I am not created, I don't need any creator, because either I created myself or another part of the universe created me. Not, we don't need, or I don't need for my existence to be created by the one who created the whole, or creates the whole universe. Nothing does anything, nothing at all in the world which has this quality, which denies the creator, or I existed myself, or altogether the universe, we existed myself. We don't need a creator. But in their way that they come into existence, the way they are coming into existence, they never ever have demonstrate inequality. This is what I understand from God's support. Otherwise, we cannot say that, look, I'm really struggling for the sake of God, doing many things for the sake of God, and I don't get any special favor from my Creator. That is the misreading, or that would be a misreading of the Quran. So that is what I got from this verse too. It is interesting that if we understand it in this way, it makes sense. Otherwise, we will be just imagining something and expecting a special favor treatment from God, and this God helped me. So some special cases took place in the life of the prophets, which are called miracles. We should not confuse special prophetic miracles. That is completely another subject. We cannot say that, look, this verse is referring that, for example, during the Prophet Muhammad's time in the Badr war, God sent his support angels. That is a miraculous way of creation that must be studied separately, and that means in its own context, it needs a very serious study. We cannot take it literally at all. So we have to understand what it means. All these prophetic narrations, all these prophetic miracles, that is completely another subject. We should not bring this argument into the meaning of this verse and understand that, look, if God wills, as he did to the Prophet Muhammad and Prophet Jesus, he can create extraordinary things to support his prophets. Yes, in a miraculous way, then God supports his prophets, but it is a completely different subject. It has nothing to do with you and with me, inshallah. We have to understand this. If someone is interested in it, we can talk about it. But just it came to my mind that people may say, look, the prophet, God supports the prophets, his prophets, messengers. So that is what this verse is saying. I say, excuse me, I'm not, I am reading the verse here. I'm not seeing any prophet around me. I am not seeing any miraculous event happening in front of me, so that it will be evident. It will be evidence for me. No, that is not the way to read the Quran, inshallah. All right. I'm just passing to the next one. Yep. Here we go. Here it is. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now, 57 section. Oh, sorry. Hadith and verse 27. 57, verse 27, section Hadith and verse 27. Then we sent our messengers to follow in their footsteps and followed up with Jesus, the son of Mary, and we gave him the gospel. That's what the verse means. Yeah. What does it mean here? We sent our messengers to follow in their footsteps. It means every messenger comes really to renew, to follow the messages of the previous prophets. This is the sequence, following each other. When a message somehow got lost, became ineffective among the people, Then God sends, renews the message, refreshes the message again to the people. What does it mean? What is the significance of it? Jesus also did the same thing, not extraordinary. We can extend it. Muhammad did the same thing, alayhi salatu wassalam. Of course, according to the capacity of the people, main interest area of the people, God sends different prophets. And according to their capacity, the previous one is lost, sends another one. Originality of the previous one is corrupted, sends another one. Following each other, but according to the level of understanding capacity of the people that the new message is delivered to, then the message is exactly the same belief system, but evidence for the belief system is always adjusted according to the level of their principle, previous, according to the level of the people, and different from the previous group of people who received the message. That is what I understand like this. For example, you are at in the first year, freshman in a college. You are taking calculus, the subject mathematics, or another subject, biology. First year biology essentially is the same as the second year biology, essentially, but expanded and went deeper because after being graduated from or passing the first year, becoming a sophomore, then your capacity is ready to receive same principles of biology. Let's take biology as an example. Same principles of biology and apply it upper level of teaching, but the same principles of biology. Main principles of biology never changes, but level of comprehensiveness and going deeper into the subject, but same subject, same principle, becomes higher and higher and higher according to the level of the people. The last one must be the one who will speak to human capacity in fullest sense, so that there will be no need to send another message, because human capacity, as far as their capacity can allow them to comprehend, cannot go beyond this, cannot go beyond their own capacity. So what we understand, the last message, whatever it is, Quran is not, doesn't look like that it will get lost, and Quran doesn't seem to be that you cannot really get to the last point in it is meaning. Deeper and deeper, and it becomes more and more fascinating as you study. Many, especially the rhetorics of the Quran is so beautifully designed, if you like. As you study it, you get amazed more and more. Anyways, as you study, you will see it. Of course, by reading the translation is not enough, or the superficial taking the meaning is not enough. That is why in the history of Muslim history scholarship, they kept writing commentaries on the Quran and trying to update it according to the level of the new generation, even more new generation. They have been struggling this, and what I personally need now, I personally feel the need, there must be a commentary on the Quran which will really help me to deal with the problems of this age. That is the main point in renewing the message. But very small part of the message also needs to be, again, if you like, renewed, refreshed, adjusted according to the needs of the new people now, the latest generation, every period of time. That is called principles of living. This is a very small part of it, by the way, like maybe not more than 5% at all. What is that? The way the communication with God, the communication of the people with God may change. And how am I going to, for example, keep my consciousness of God in my practical life by doing physical activities, which are called rituals or prohibitions and suggestions that say, orders, do this, don't do that, or also rituals. That part also needs to be updated according to the living conditions. We know that the living conditions are changing very fast. So as the conditions change, the rules also need to be adjusted accordingly. This is also a fact, but we should not make this point the main reason why every time, here and there, we don't really say every century, every 10th century, because there is no static period that we can speak of in terms of history. We have no evidence at all. Just the Quran says, we keep, as this verse said, we keep sending the prophet upon prophet, but following the footsteps of the previous ones. It means the main principles of teachings of God never, ever change. That's what we have to understand. But of course, level of teaching need to change if the society, as the example of the student I gave, first year college student, after graduating from the first year or completing the first year, and he will be upgraded to the second year. And the same subject, biology 101, biology 203, 205, and then 3, 4, etc. Even biology 607 or 605, a class. First year students don't understand at all, although it is about biology. They follow the same principles of biological principles, the discipline of biology is based on certain principles. They all teach the same certain principles. But as the level changes, biology becomes deeper and wider. Exactly in our practical life, we are experiencing this. We have been experiencing in our teaching education. We experience that. So it is not strange. So we will continue. I will continue because I spoke a lot. If there is no comment, anything, I will continue. And we gave Jesus gospel. It's not extraordinary. We have been doing this anyways. Another thing that I felt to share with you, what is that? First, in the Quran, there are certain the prophets are mentioned, starting from Adam, continuing down to Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, alayhimus salam, all of them. So every prophetic narration in the Quran is not a story or history. Telling the history of the prophets, no. In fact, nothing to do with the history of the prophetic chain. To me, nothing to do with it. So that is something strange. How do you say that? If you pay attention to the stories of the prophets mentioned in the Quran, each prophet who are mentioned in the Quran represents human experience of life, one aspect of my life, one part of my life. It is represented through a story of a particular prophet. So every prophetic narration is my narration, but they are different. Yes, in my life, my experiences are related to different parts of the subject. One of them may be my relationship with my family members, with my children, with my wife, husband, and with my parents. Another way of dealing with the administration where I live. Another aspect is commercial side of my life, business, dealing with business side of my life. They are all related to me. Different aspect of my life. That is why we should read the Quran in this way. For example, we are studying the Prophet Jesus' life. We are learning that prophetic miracles need to be understood in the way that if I see any extraordinary act of creation, I have to understand that this is an evidence for the person's claim, whoever he is, in this case, Jesus's claim to be the prophet. That is a miracle for him. That's why I have to understand that if I hear any extraordinary event, I would say that is something to do with the prophetic life of the prophets. So in the narration, we see that Jesus cured incurable diseases, incredible miracles. I have to pay attention in nowadays called medical studies. All these medical treatments or something must be understood as Jesus' experience mentioned in the Quran. Because everybody in a certain period of their life may get ill and may need medical treatment. So they need what is going on here. We have to understand that Jesus miraculously demonstrated these treatments, but it doesn't mean that we cannot do anything in treatment unless we receive an act of miracle. No, it doesn't mean that. We have to understand that in the creation of this universe, there are always evidence that these treatments are taking place in a miraculous way. What does it mean? Although they are taking place as a result of human researches, but the medicine or all medical treatments are realized according to what? According to the order of the universe. The order of the universe comes into existence in a miraculous way. In a miraculous way. That's what we have to understand. The order of the universe comes into existence in a miraculous way. That is important to notice that. So look at this medicine, is so powerful. Okay, this medicine is realized, made according to the order. They benefited from the order of the universe. So its effect is given permission by the one who created the order of the universe. It means who created the universe within an order. But human beings have discovered it. Wonderful, perfect. We have to congratulate those people because they have discovered another aspect of the miraculous creation. All this need to be separately discussed. So we place compassion and mercy in the hearts of those who followed him. I mean, those who followed Jesus, which are called Hawariyun, but we can generalize it. If you receive the message of the prophet, any prophet, you will receive compassion and mercy in your heart, because belief requires compassion and mercy. We have to talk about these kind of subjects a lot, really, but the Prophet Muhammad declared war. Of course, if someone attacks you, you have to defend yourself. It is a compassionate action to defend your emane, your trust. It is a compassionate, merciful action to defend your body, not your life, not to be killed. But somebody unjustly attacks you, you have to defend yourself. In the world, none of the civilization, none of the administration system doesn't allow you that you shouldn't defend yourself. None of them. What does it mean? That is the result of human mercy, human compassion. You have to protect your body, your life, which is given to you as a trust. Otherwise, belief in God in all our life has the effect of compassion and mercy. Compassion to the universe, compassion to other creatures, compassion to other human beings, even trying to convey the message of belief in God to these people, anybody, it is nothing but must be as a result of mercy, inshallah. So, as for monasticism, which is developed within the believers, followers of Jesus, which they invented to seek God's pleasure, it means, I mean, with a good intention, they did something in order to seek God's pleasure. They invented something which God did not create human life, which required monasticism, because monasticism means go to a seclusion, a private life, and withdraw yourself from the social life and interacting with the people. Why do you do that? We are created within a society. You can follow God's guidance and benefit from these opportunities in order to spread the message. Why do you seclude yourself from or draw yourself away from other people? Why do you feel the need to do this? With a good intention, but wrong application. That is what we are learning. We didn't ordain for them. I mean, the way we are created doesn't require that I have to go away from the society, don't speak, don't eat, don't utilize the things that God created for me from the other beautiful bounties of God for me. What are you going to benefit from it? If, for example, let's say cows, Allah creates milk through cows. So if you don't really milk the cow, you complain. Oh, really, if you go to the farm, and nowadays machines are really milking the cows now, machines. Okay. If the machine breaks down, you see in the place where the cows are, they are crying as if they are making noise. Oh, yeah, it's heartbreaking noise they make. They say, take the milk and use it. The way it is created is inviting that it is for you, man. For you. Even they have babies, much more than what their baby calves need, much more than. It is for you. God created. If you don't drink or utilize the milk, what happens? Milk goes bad and becomes food for other creatures. Goes bad. But the other creatures don't die because of hunger, because they have many, many other things to eat. That is what we should understand, that whatever God creates for us, we have to use it without going into excess, of course, excess, extreme. As far as we need, we have to use it. Depriving myself of the bounties created for me, as if I am inferring that, oh God, you will have a limited source, so I have to get a little bit, so the rest will be with you. You may not be out of the stock. It is ridiculous to behave in this way. towards the absolutely powerful one, knowledgeable one, that he needs some sort of savings aside. So it is ridiculous, really. Okay, we didn't ordain for them, and they didn't observe properly, because it is not humanly really possible to stand there, this kind of attitude. I mean, it is not, if you like, appropriate to the way we are created. So we gave those who believed among them their reward. It means, yes, belief is always automatically rewarded. If you submit your understanding that the universe needs a creator, it becomes, and then really assimilated within yourself, it becomes a belief. It becomes belief. And this belief always brings pleasure, compassion, mercy, happiness, peace, security in your life, inshallah. But many of them are disobedient. Many of the people are disobedient. It means they don't follow the message. Right. Alhamdulillah, we studied this one as well. So Muhammad Said says, let me see this. All right. I felt that one of the main reasons for monasticism might be not being able to turn the elements of civilization into the elements of belief matters. Therefore, feeling disconnected with God while among them. Hence, one might choose to be away from them. Now, I've never seen any prophetic example in the Quran running away from the negative, harming elements of the civilization, any civilization. We have to establish our belief so well, so firmly, that the case of the children is different. They're children. Let's talk about children is understandable. The case of children is understandable, easy. But adult people, we have to try to find the solution, not through or by running away from it, but having your belief so firm, then the civilization will offer to you something. You will say, because any civilization, of course, by definition, against what we learn from revelation, or what we learn the evidence from the universe, the consequence of it is to believe in God and attribute my whole existence to this God. That is what reality is. So what I have to do, I have to be firm. This is true. My belief must be based on evidence, so that it should not be shaken easily. No, these are wrong. I have to go in my way. But if they put pressure on you, the Quran suggests this: go to another place. If you cannot go, then try to find out the best way of defending yourself, but be wise, not reactionary. Be wise. According to the rules of this, any civilization which is not following the messages, revelation, then you have to find a way not to put yourself into trouble, rather than running away from it. But sometimes if the pressure becomes unbearable on you, you are advised to immigrate or migrate into another place. That is what God says in the Quran. Why then those people who complained that they couldn't stand from the oppressions of the people around them or administration on them, this is not an excuse, God says. Why don't you find another place for you? Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I don't know whether it is satisfactory or not. That is what I understood from the comment. Thank you for your comment, by the way. Right. Bismillah. Anyone? Any more? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله